Hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me and tuning in again today. Sorry I didn't get a video done for you guys yesterday. Went back down to Pensacola to see my chiropractor again. Had a good experience there. Things are going well. I'm pretty happy with how things are going right now, but I'll talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes. Today I want to talk about the raw vegan lifestyle, aging, and complete health. Guys, I do videos every day. Every once in a while I miss a day like yesterday. So if you haven't already done it, go down there and hit that subscribe button now. Click on the little bell, check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. And just everybody go check your channels, man. I'm losing subs again. And I know some other people are too. Yeah, I've been seeing my chiropractor. I think I've found what the real issue is now. Now I understand it in my head. It's like I was telling her yesterday. I have to understand things. I have to understand what's going on. I can probably be a little bit tedious sometimes in my questions to know all these things, but anyhow, just kind of got me, some of this got me thinking in a bigger picture outlook. And to be quite honest, this little issue I've been having has probably been a good thing. It's kind of got me thinking in a different direction. You know, if you haven't watched a video, I've been going to a chiropractor. I've been having a little bit of a, I don't know, just an alignment type issue. Well, I've had a few adjustments. I'm doing better. I'm doing some exercises for that. I think I see the problem just about to be corrected, but it's going to be a little longer because something I learned about yesterday, and like I say, I'm just going to kind of go in a lot of different directions here, but learned about this little muscle yesterday called the psoas muscle. That's P-S-O-A-S. And my chiropractor mentioned this one to me as we've been kind of working through what my issue is. And I got home last night and I'm reading about this, and I'm like, okay, this kind of makes sense. This makes sense for some of the things I've been experiencing. And then as I was reading into it, it's things that can aggravate this, to cause a tight psoas muscle. And listen, I'm not going to try to get too deep into this. Go Google the psoas muscle. It's a very complicated muscle that runs across your pelvis, up through your spine. It's connected to some different things, but anyhow, it can become tightened or a little bit short when you sit for long periods of time, which I do. Engage in excessive running or walking, which if you guys remember, I did a ton of walking this summer, and some very fast walking, and not in good shoes a lot of the times when I was doing it. Sleeping in the fetal position. That's not a regular thing for me, but I will tend to finish my morning out like that. Like the last couple of hours, a lot of times I'll ball up in the fetal position, or in cold weather. I do sleep like this more. And do a lot of sit-ups. Now I don't do, when they say sit-ups, I don't know if they're talking about old-fashioned sit-ups, because I don't do old-fashioned sit-ups, but I do a lot of ab work, a lot of core work, and I was doing a lot more of that this summer. So some of these things sort of make sense. Long story short, what I'm getting around to here with all these particulars is my raw vegan lifestyle, the other practices I'm doing, just everything I'm aiming for in life right now with my health goals is just to age well, because I'm going to be 55 this next March. So, you know, that's really the focus of my life, is to do things now to prepare my body for the upcoming aging that's coming, you know, because you see a big decline in people. Hell, usually you've seen a big decline in people by the time they're my age. But as you know, if they go into their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, there's just this downhill, you know, there's almost like this thing going downhill. I don't want to do like that. And I want to do the things now that are going to give me the best chance at feeling happy, healthy, comfortable, pain-free for as long as possible. Somehow in the back of my mind, I knew I was doing this, but honestly, I've been ignoring a key part of something I should be doing my age, you know, as I'm getting older, knowing what I know. How long? How long now? I've been back in the States for about a year and 3 months. But even when I was in Costa Rica, that last place I was staying on the mountain, I was not diligent about my yoga there. I started out when I first got to that property, I was doing yoga somewhat, but I still wasn't doing it like I was doing it at the beach. And over time, as I was there, I got away from my mat, and ever since I've been back in the States, what have you guys heard me saying? I'm going to get back to my yoga mat. I'm going to get back to my yoga mat. Well, that in general, not necessarily yoga, but just that type of movement of the body, that, you know, the stretching coordinated with the breathing, is something that I really shouldn't have been neglecting. If anything, I don't, you know, I got all about the gym. I got back to the States, and you know, I was going to the gym regularly, but not doing any of that stretching, not doing my yoga. And, you know, as far as aging goes, don't get me wrong, as far as resistance training and weight training goes, that is good for our body aging wise too, because it helps our bones. It helps maintain good bone strength. But I definitely didn't, I kind of am reevaluating and thinking like, okay, I didn't need to be like doing nothing but the gym with no, you know, with no stretching or no yoga to kind of balance that out. In other words, like I just wasn't getting as much bang for my buck out of that gym time as it relates to practical things for me, you know, like I say, how I'm moving every day. Because even though those things, you know, I can look tone, I can look fit, nothing that I'm doing at that, or I have been doing at that gym, is really affecting my movement. It's really affecting, like, you know, the overall health of my body. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't mean that I'm like about to stop. You know, I am going to take some time off from the gym. I have taken some time off from the gym. I'm going to take some time off from that. I'm starting back. I'm going to build back from the ground up. I'm not going to keep saying, okay, I'm going to get back to my yoga mat. Actually, before I get back to my yoga mat, I'm doing some stretching exercises now that are very specific for, you know, what my body's been going through, and to try to correct some of the things going on there. As I stretch more and more, and as this, like I say, I'm not 100% back to normal as far as like how I feel. I'm getting there, and as I feel better and better, my stretching will increase, and I will go from, you know, the gentler stretching until, as I get stronger, I will get back to yoga. But that's something that I'm going to really focus on. And also too, it's a good thing. I'm glad that I finally went to a chiropractor. Now, people have their opinions on chiropractors, and to be quite honest, you know, I do my own research. I'm sorry, just unsolicited random advice just doesn't do with me. I go figure things out on my own. So, you know, I know some people aren't into chiropractic practices. Now, I see mine as I get to a point, I'm going for another adjustment next week. Now I'm almost at the point of being done with that. And then it'll be like, you know, every once in a while, I'll probably go get a maintenance adjustment. But it's opened my eyes to the importance of our structure. See, for the longest time, I think for these past 6 years, and this is a mistake we can get into, or I find I start concentrating on one thing. You know, we get all about this raw vegan lifestyle or the raw food diet and the food. And I'm always trying to preach that to other people. Don't be obsessed with the food. There's other things to life, or there's other things to total health other than just what we're eating. So, you know, I kind of get on cruise control and think like, oh, well, I'm just covered. I'm eating a great diet. I feel great. But no. As we age, you know, there's things that are important. We have to maintain proper posture, you know, to maintain the balance of the muscles in our body, to maintain that they are balanced and there's not something that's too tight, there's not something that's too weak, you know. So I want to kind of go back in there and start like balancing things out. Wherever there's a muscle that's too tight, I want to loosen that muscle up a little bit. Wherever there's muscles that are weak, I want to strengthen those muscles. But that's where I'm going to kind of take a step back and start and kind of build from the ground up and build that foundation and start with my feet. I'm going to get some decent inserts for my shoes. You guys have seen me, like I've got them on right now. Look at these pair of flip-flops I wear. I've had these for I don't know how long from Costa Rica. These are worn a hole in. They're horrible, horrible, horrible. And everything starts with your feet. Your whole skeletal system. Your whole skeletal system starts when it gets out of line from the bottom up. Things are just not going right. I'm not going to sit there and tell you what's going on. I don't know anatomy that well, but it all starts from the bottom up. So starting from, you know, proper movement, proper posture, regular stretching of my body with deep breathing, progressing back into yoga. But yeah, I'm just going to, like I say, I'm going to kind of reevaluate and start focusing on that total health. Now down below, I've always got a link to my blog. I'm not going to do a lot of videos on this, but I'm going to kind of write the changes or kind of keep up with the changes. I won't journal them, but I'm going to kind of keep up with some of the practices and what I'm doing with my stretching and just overall fitness routine and changing up a little bit over on the blog. So go check that out below, rawtropicalliving.com. And yeah, but anyhow, I'm just going to go do some stretching right now and read a little bit more about this psoas muscle and kind of start looking more into this new mentality I have of like holistic, holistic, holistic. It's not really new. It's just sometimes I have to be slapped. Sometimes I have to be slapped and really experience something to understand these lessons that I talk about. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Peace.